Hello YouTube and welcome to, I'm going to make a part 2 of the last review and big mess test video that I did regarding the Vax Energise Pulse Pet. Now, I've done the big mess test on it. I didn't even use all of the big mess that I wanted to put down. There's actually more of it in here, so I only used basically half of this, and it basically clogged up the top of the machine, and it wasn't able to cope basically with the big mess test. So this machine being a 750 watt, right, I'm now going to see what it's left behind in the carpet, okay? I wanted to do this in the last video, but I didn't have enough time, so I had to start a new video, so we're going to call this the part 2. It's only going to be a short little video. What I'm basically going to do is I'm going to get the Dyson Light Ball out, which is, you know, for comparison, we are comparing a 700 watt motor to a 750. Both are bagless cleaners, and I want to see just how much, if anything, because I think there's stuff left in that carpet that has left behind. So we're going to use this. The bin is empty, so we can see that. I'll just get this out and we will get the Dyson on the carpet. Okay, so I'm just going to stand you on the back while I plug it in and get it ready. Now, on the face of it, I mean, that carpet looks relatively clean to look at it, but I still think that there's stuff left in there. So we're going to use this to clean up and get a really good clean. So let's drop all the label off. I'll remove this tilt tool here because it usually ends up dropping off. That's the one flaw with this machine. So now, I shall set the forehead on the maximum function so that we get full suction on it. And let's go, see what we get. Well, actually, you know, first what I'll do, I'll just prove that the bin is empty. So we'll just tip the bin and make sure everything's out. There's a little bit left in there, so we just empty the bin first. I'll put that in here, because we start with an empty bin. I don't want people to think I'm cheating, you see. So I'm just going to empty the dust that's in here out. So basically the bin is completely empty now. There's no cheating going on in there, and nothing in there. Let's put it back on. And we go. So basically what I've done, I've run the machine over all the area that I run that over, essentially. And it's given the carpet a pretty thorough clean. Actually no, I've forgotten to get that little bit there, so let's just get those little bits as well, because obviously it didn't edge clean very well. Now for that I'll have to open the large debris channels. Because you see, this machine is fitted with the 2 large debris channels on the front of the floor head. So if you've got it in max mode, they close off so it can snowplow. But if you set it into the middle position, you open those 2 large debris channels on the front, and essentially you just aim the large particles into the sides of the floor head, and it picks them up. A facility with that doesn't have. So essentially, that wasn't able to pick anything up from the side. So let's have the bin opened and see in the Dyson what the Vax wasn't able to pick up from that big mess test. And it might be a large amount, it might not be. Here's the cylinder. So there is stuff in there. Maybe not as much as I might have thought, but let's give it a go. Right, close the lid. So there, basically, it's not actually as much as I thought. I mean, that actually, in all honesty, seeing as it was clogged, it didn't do too badly in the performance. Either that or the Dyson hasn't picked up as much as I thought. But there is stuff here, and there is the fine dust here, which is what I thought it might pick up. There's more grains of rice there. But, you know, if this hadn't have got clogged up like that, maybe it would have picked all that up. Maybe it would. But again, it's just the design of the single cyclone system in the top. It can't handle large amounts of debris going in. It can't handle it. I mean, I would love to do a big mess test like that with the Dyson, and I probably will, but I won't put the stones in, because I don't want the stones going around in there and making a mess of all the plastic of the bin, because it's a new machine. I'm pretty sure that this could handle picking up stones. Pretty sure it could, because there's a stone in there that it's picked up. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just down to design. It can't cope with big mess tests. Some machines can, some machines can't. But when I was pushing this along, back at this part of the carpet here, it was getting bogged down in the pile. You may have seen me struggling to try and move it at this end, but over this side of the carpet it was actually easier to push. And it was easier to push going from this direction towards the fireplace, because you're going with the pile, and that's where you can see the lines being brought up. So that machine is it's very specific, it's very finicky about which way it's pushed across the pile. Even with the back of the sole plate filed down, it still gets bogged down on the carpets in places. And it all depends on which direction the pile goes in, so you've got to keep turning the machine round to go with the pile all the time. And most people aren't going to want to bother faffing around doing that. They just take it back to Argos and say, I want a refund because it's crap. It doesn't do what I bought it to do. Very poor effort. But the Dyson's cleaned up anyway after it, so we'll end the video here. I might get a few dislikes for this, but you know, if people dislike it, if they think it's unfair, and people like Vaxes, they've got the fans. I bought a lot of these. I've had a lot of bad machines from Vax, and this is just about the worst one. As regards that, I'm still very impressed with that. I've used it again since. I've used that one again today, and that's been a great machine as well. What I'm waiting for at the moment is the cat to make more fur on the chair. She's already starting to get fur on here. You can see that starting to build up on there, and it's building up on the back. But when she's been on here for a few days and it's nicely coated with cat hair, I'm going to give this a try out, this tangle-free turbine tool, because I want to see how good this is on the cat fur. So we'll leave that to build right up. and give it a job to do. So, there we go, that's the end of part 2 on this one. So if you see these on eBay, and I think they are going on eBay actually, because I'm sure I've seen some of these going for about 20 odd quid, give it a miss. Waste of money. I'm very frank, I'm very honest on this channel. If I think a machine's rubbish, I'll say so. I'm not going to sing its praises if it doesn't deserve them. Okay? Just because that's a Dyson doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to find anything wrong with it. I'd have found a couple of things wrong, but they're very minor. What you've bought it for, to pick the stuff up, it does it, and it does it quite well. It does it very well indeed, in fact. So, you know, there's no point in doing reviews, is there, on machines, if you're just going to say everything's wonderful. Because then effectively people think, oh well, when I know what the machine is, they'll say it's wonderful. If I hadn't liked it, as I say, it would have, I wouldn't have bought that one, and I'd have probably ended up wanting to sell this, because I can't take it back to Argos now because it's used. But this machine, I'm going to use this a lot. This is going to become one of the daily drivers down here, and I'm going to use that one as well. Going to give them a really good test out. I've got 2 new machines here. I can't afford to buy any more at the moment, so there'll be no more unboxings for quite a while. But essentially, I want to use these machines. We'll be doing some more daily cleans with them. I will intermingle the daily cleans with other machines that I've got to provide a bit of variety on the channel. But these machines are going to get a good grilling, and I will be reporting back regularly on their performance. That is going to get cleaned out and go back in the loft. Shame on that machine. It does reasonable performance, but unfortunately there was too many design flaws with it to make it a good machine, so it's not at all recommended by me. I'll see you again on the next review. Bye for now.